They say the spirits of the land never forget. You can build mansions on graves, paint over history, and laugh in the faces of old beliefs, but when the spirits wake, they don't knock, they enter. This is the story of Mr. Mhofu, the man who mocked the spirits, and how, on the night he opened that coffin, all of Eastleigh, Harare, heard him scream. My name is Chipo. I worked for years as a housekeeper in Eastleigh, in the enormous mansion owned by the man everyone called Mr. Mhofu. He wasn't just rich, no, he was wealth itself. He wore imported suits from Lagos, tailored and shining like he walked with his own spotlight. His shoes, polished leather that looked like they cost more than a village cow, clicked on marble floors that echoed as if bowing beneath him. Even the dust on the roads of Harare seemed to part when his cars approached. When he passed, the women from the township whispered, "A man like that. Even the angels envy him." But we, the ones who worked behind the glossy walls of his mansion, knew something else. We saw the man behind the wealth, the man who laughed at anything spiritual, the man who dismissed every warning the elders offered him. Whenever anyone cautioned him about the land he bought near the old cemetery, he would wave them off and say with that proud laugh of his, "Spirits? I only believe in money." Then he would throw extravagant parties, dazzling women in bright dresses, music loud enough to shake loose the stars, the air thick with a sweet burn of whiskey. The mansion stood on land the elders once called Zvimwi's Valmari, what belongs to God. My grandmother always warned me never to wander near that place. She said the spirits of the forgotten rested there. But Mr. Mhofu brushed all that aside. "Let them rest," he said once, with his gold watch glinting in the sun, "under my swimming pool." So one hot afternoon, he called the workers to dig. The sun hung heavy on our backs, and the soil turned dark as they dug deeper. Around sunset, one of the workers shouted. They had found something, a small wooden coffin, old, sealed with faded red cloth, the kind meant to keep something inside, not outside. The men dropped their tools. "Boss," they said, "this is not for us." But Mr. Mhofu, with his shiny shoes planted firmly in the dirt, only laughed. "Remove that thing. I don't care about dead men's toys." At that moment, the warm evening wind turned suddenly cold, biting, strange. A scent of burnt herbs drifted across the yard. The workers whispered among themselves, crossing their arms over their chests, but the digging continued. That night, the air around the mansion felt heavy. I was in the servant quarters behind the house when, around midnight, I heard drums. Not the lively drums from the parties he used to throw. These were ancestral drums, slow, deep, like something ancient knocking from beneath the earth. I peeked outside. The yard was empty. The night was still. Then I heard Mr. Mhofu's voice echo across the property. "Who's there? Who's in my house?" He screamed again, louder. Panicked, I ran to my window and froze. He stood near the swimming pool, his body rigid, the water moving even though there wasn't a breeze in the air. Behind him stood a tall, black shadow, an O-face, an O-shape. Just darkness watching him. He fell to his knees, crying, "Forgive me. I didn't know." The lights in the mansion flickered, then went out completely. When we reached him, his skin was cold, his eyes wide, trembling with terror. "They're coming for me," he whispered. The next morning, he locked himself in his room. He refused food, refused water. Only his wife, Mrs. Mhofu, dared go inside sometimes, and even she came out pale, shaken, refusing to speak about what she saw. He kept mumbling the same thing. There in the mirror. "They're watching me." 2 nights later, he called a prophet. The moment the prophet stepped through the gate, he collapsed, fainting before reaching the door. When he woke, he whispered, "There is no prayer for this. The ground itself is angry." From that moment, everything spiraled. Mr. Mhofu tried escaping, but the haunting followed him. In the hotel, the lights flickered violently. In his car, the radio played funeral hymns even when it was off. He stopped laughing. The proud man who mocked the spirits now jumped at every shadow. A week later, the driver honked wildly at the gate. Tears streamed down his face. "Madam, come quick." We rushed to the garage. Mr. Mhofu was sitting in the driver's seat, his body stiff, his eyes open and empty, and beside him was the small coffin from the pool, and no one knew how it got there, but its lid was covered with fresh soil, as if it had been dug up again that same night. The next morning, the family fled. The mansion still stands in Eastleigh, but no one stays longer than a night. Every new owner leaves before sunrise. Years later, walking past the crumbling gate, I saw children playing nearby. One of them pointed to a broken window. "That man in the suit always waves at us," he said, but the house was empty. No man, just dust, cracked walls, and the echo of something unseen. People still say that at midnight, his laughter echoes, the same laugh that once mocked the spirits, and when the wind moves through Eastleigh, you can hear a whisper riding on it. Money can build a house, but it can't buy peace with the dead. After Mr. Mhofu's death, no one touched the land. But years later, a developer from South Africa arrived, confident and dismissive. He didn't believe in village ghosts. He began construction immediately. Within 3 days, workers reported footprints forming in fresh cement. One swore he heard drums beneath the ground. Then one night, a bulldozer burst into flames on its OW and no one was inside. No fuel leak. No sparks. The developer packed his bags and fled before dawn. Locals now call that property Nikayevakafa, the land of the dead. The grass there never grows green. Birds refuse to land on its roof. And so this is the story of Mr. Mhofu, the man who believed in money more than in spirits. Some say he learned too late. Others swear he still wanders the mansion, laughing softly in the dark. So if you ever find yourself in Eastleigh, walking past that old mansion near the cemetery, don't stop. Don't stare into the windows. Don't even turn back. Just whisper, "Rest, Mr. Mhofu. Rest." Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Reply forward, add reaction.